Okay, so this is also a pretty interesting question. So question 15 says, let A, B, and C be numbers with A less than B less than, with 0 less than A less than B less than C. Want to know which of the following is impossible. Okay, so for these kinds of questions, we know this is like a multiple choice test, right? The AMC 8 is a multiple choice test. So you want to take advantage of the answer choices. So a lot of these questions, a very common question style they like to give is, which of the following is possible, or which of the following is impossible, like in this case, or like they might ask like which of the following, like, is an example of this or whatever, like something that involves the answer choices. So in this case, we want to know which of the following is impossible. So a very common strategy for these kinds of questions is we can kind of eliminate the answer choices one by one, right? So let's just start with like choice E, let's say. Let's look at choice E, which says B over C equals A. So we know 0 is less than A, is less than B, is less than C. We're given this in the problem. So let's see, is it possible for B over C to be equal to A? Well, like, clearly it is possible, right? You could let A equal, like, for example, I can let A equal 2 over 3, B equal 2, C equal 3, right? This is perfectly valid, right? 0 is less than 2/3, is less than 2, is less than 3. That's allowed. And A is 2/3, which is equal to B divided by C. So clearly choice E is possible. B over C could equal A. So that means we can, like, when you're actually taking the test, when you're like, doing your math and stuff, you can like cross it out or something. I don't know, do something that indicates that can't be the answer. So let's move on to choice D. Choice D says A times C is less than B. So let's see, is it possible for A times C to be less than B? So as we did with choice E, let's try to find like an example where this is possible. So let's hope to eliminate choice D. So the idea is we could let A be like a really, really small number, right? As long as it's greater than 0, it's valid. So I can let A equal like 1 over like 1,000 or something, right? Make A a very small number. Then if I make B like, I don't know, it doesn't really matter. If I make B like 1 and C equal to 2, right? This satisfies all the conditions, 0 less than A less than B less than C. But if we did A times C, that'd be like a very small number. That's like 1 over 500, which is clearly less than B, which is clearly less than 1, which is equal to B. So that tells us A times C is less than B. That's also possible. So we can also cross out choice D. So D is also not possible. So let's take a look at choice C next. So choice C says A plus B is less than C. So this is pretty easy to show that this is possible, right? Like if I just made A equal to 1, B equal to 2, and C equal to like 1 million or something, right? Then clearly A plus B is less than C. So this is possible. So we can cross out choice C as well. And now we're left with 2 possible choices, right? So let's look at choice B next. So choice B is A times B is less than C. Is this possible? Well, very similar to how we eliminated choice C. Of course, this is possible, right? If you just, with the same example, if we let A equal to 1, B equal to 2, and C equal to like 1 million, then clearly A times B is 2, which is clearly less than 1 million. So clearly choice B is also possible. So we can eliminate choice B. And from here, like, we basically eliminated all 4 answer choices, and we're just left with 1 answer choice. So that's got to be the answer. So we know that choice A has to be the answer. A plus C is less than B. And this should make intuitive sense, right? Like A plus C, like C is the largest value. And like clearly, like we didn't even need the A plus C. We could have just said like C is less than B. That would have, or this is already impossible. But just know like sometimes this process of elimination method is like very powerful. Since like if we were able to find one counter example, we can immediately eliminate the choice. Like sometimes it's a lot easier to see which answers are wrong than which answer is right. So that's a very important problem solving strategy for these kinds of problems.